All right, let's just get right into it. There's this one big question. It's everywhere, right? In every Slack channel, every dev forum, and maybe, just maybe, it's rattling around in the back of your head too. Is AI really coming for my coding job?
I mean, you've heard this stuff, right? This line, it's dramatic, it's high stakes, and it's causing a ton of anxiety out there. The whole idea that these crazy powerful AI tools are about to make us, the human developers, totally obsolete. It's a pretty scary thought, not gonna lie. So the big question is any of this real? Or is this just another classic case of the hype train going completely off the rails? Well, that's what we're here to figure out. We're going to dig into what the engineers who are actually building stuff every day are saying and get to the bottom of what's really going on.
Okay, so first up, let's talk about this AI hype quake. Where is all this coming from? And more importantly, is it built on solid ground or is it just shaky?
Well, here's the reality check. A lot of these claims, they're coming from folks who, are super brilliant, but maybe haven't touched a messy, real-world production system in a very long time. Think about it. If your job is just to add a new button to a website where all the hard architectural work is already done, yeah, then having an AI spit out the code for that button feels like magic. But that's not the whole job. It's not even close to the whole job.
And that right there, that points to a huge misunderstanding about what we software engineers actually do. Because, spoiler alert, it's not really about writing code.
Let's use an analogy. Think about an architect. Is their job just drawing blueprints? Of course not. You're not paying them to just draw lines. The blueprint, that's just the end result, the artifact.
And it is the exact same thing for us. The code we write, that's just the artifact. It's the final output, not the actual job. All this obsession with generating code makes it really easy to forget what the real craft is. So what is the real job? It's making thousands upon thousands of decisions. It's the big stuff, like, should we build this as a monolith or go with microservices? It's the smaller stuff, like, which packages should we use? And it's all the stuff in between, like wrestling with security and performance trade-offs. You see, LLMs are incredible at generating patterns. They're amazing, but they don't make those decisions. We do.
And honestly, sometimes the best code is no code at all. Every single line you write is a liability. It's something you have to maintain, something you have to secure, something you're going to have to debug at 3 a.m. someday. So an AI that just mindlessly pumps out mountains of code, it's not solving your problem. It might actually be creating a much, much bigger one down the road.
Okay, so this whole thing really boils down to a major clash of styles, a big conflict in how we think about building software now. You can think of it as vibes versus production.
Yeah, vibe coding. That's the term for it. It's this idea where you let the AI write all the code, you kind of glance at it, don't really dig in and just go, seems to work, and then you just ship it. It's all based on vibes.
But here's where the rubber meets the road. Look at this comparison. Vibe coding, sure, maybe it's fine for a little side project. But production engineering, that is a whole different ballgame. We're talking needing 4 nines of uptime. We're talking about managing thousands of concurrent users, handling gigabytes of data. And when that system inevitably breaks at 2 in the morning, vibes aren't going to fix it. A real human engineer has to dive deep and figure out what the heck went wrong.
So what's the takeaway here for our jobs? I love this analogy. Tractors. Tractors didn't get rid of farmers. They got rid of farmhands and horses. It was a change in the level of abstraction. It made farmers way more efficient. And that's exactly what AI is. It's an incredibly powerful new tool, our tractor. It's here to get rid of the boring, tedious boilerplate code, not the strategic thinking engineer who's driving it.
All right, so if the job isn't going away, it's definitely changing. And that leads to the next big question, right? How do you adapt? How do you turn this thing from a threat into your most powerful teammate? And we really do have to adapt, and fast. I mean, just look at this timeline. A few years ago, AI for coding was basically a joke, a pile of bricks. Then, about a year ago, GPT 3.5 hits the scene, and boom, a massive explosion in quality. And now, just in the last few weeks, it's all about agents. The pace of this change is just It's wild. So, what's the secret to making your dev environment AI friendly? Well, here's the kicker. It's just good software engineering. Seriously. Documenting your standards, making sure anyone can spin up a dev environment easily, having tests that are simple to run. These are all things we should have been doing all along. Think about it. You'd never walk up to a junior engineer, give them a super vague task, and expect a masterpiece, right? You gotta treat the AI the same way. Give it clear instructions, clear boundaries, and a well-defined task. Set it up for success. And you should totally get into a workflow like this. Create, refine, loop. I mean, nobody, not even the best senior dev, writes perfect code on the first try. So why would we expect an AI to? The new workflow is you create the plan. You write the spec. Then you let the AI generate the first draft. And then your real work begins. You go in, you refine, you tweak, you improve. It's a partnership. And this idea of a partnership, it really highlights a huge shift in what skills are going to be the most valuable. So what's the new absolutely essential skill every developer needs to have?
Just think about the good old tech interview. For years, it was all about, here's some weird esoteric algorithm problem, solve it on a whiteboard. Go. But that's changing. The new, most critical skill is analysis. It's not about writing from scratch. It's about looking at a chunk of code, doesn't matter if a human or an AI wrote it, and being able to say, this is why it's good, or this is why it's bad. That's systems level thinking. And frankly, it's way more valuable. So as you start using these tools more and more, here are a few final tips to keep in your back pocket. First, and this is a big one, always remember you are talking to a machine that's just a fancy text generator. When it says something like, oops, I just scanned the file again, it's not telling you what it did. It's just mimicking polite human language it saw in its training data. So you gotta have a healthy level of distrust. Second, you have to learn to let go a little. Ask yourself, is the AI's code actually worse, or is it just different from how I would have written it? Let your linters and style guides take care of the small stuff. And finally, be a good guide. Give the AI a rules file. Tell it about your tech stack. Give it the context it needs to help you properly. You know, we started this whole thing with a pretty dire prediction, but this is where we land. The real consensus from the folks actually building software is that our jobs aren't going anywhere. They're just evolving. The work is moving up. It's becoming less about just typing code and more about strategy, about review, and about making those critical decisions. And so that really leaves us with one last big idea to chew on. The job title might stay the same, but the role of a developer is being completely reframed. It's less about being a coder and way more about being an architect, a systems thinker, an editor-in-chief. So really, the question isn't, will AI take my job? The real question is, are you prepared to be the editor-in-chief?